change your courses. Computers to broadcasting, needlepoint to electronics. Consider, too, transfer courses, close to home location, and easily affordable tuition. You may even qualify for financial aid. At Gadsden State, everything about us says, yes, you can.
At Hicks Family Shoes, North Alabama's largest home-owned family shoe store, sizes and widths are our specialty. We carry a full line of quality footwear, including Naturalizer, Selby, Rockport, and Buster Brown. No matter what the need, Hicks Family Shoes can please even the choosiest feet. So the next time you're shopping for quality footwear, drop by Hicks Family Shoes. We refuse to be undersold. Hicks Family Shoes, 430 Broad Street, downtown Gadsden.
Celebrate the 21st century a little early. Introducing the all-new 1992 Toyota Camry. We just couldn't leave well enough alone.
Come see the new Camry at Heritage Toyota, 563 East Meagan Boulevard, Gadsden.
There's Swofford's kick, 14-0 for the Tigers, and as you saw on the replay, Swofford, again, did just a terrific job on the receiving end of that Chris Elders pass. Elders showing composure, rolled out right until Swofford could spring himself free, and Swofford just took 3 steps inside and became wide open where Elders delivered it. The kick by Swofford went out of bounds, so the Tigers again will back up 5 yards and kick off from the 35-yard line. With 5:40 remaining in the half, the score is 14-0 in favor of the Tigers.
Feels a good time to compliment the food given to us tonight by Catherine Collins and Morrison's Cafeteria.
Yeah, she'll appreciate that. There's the squib kick by Swofford. It's picked up on the run by Bobby Hill, who is thrown down eventually at the 34-yard line, where the Blue Devils will take over 1st and 10. Stop was made by Terrence Taylor of the Tigers, and the black jersey defenders of the Tigers come on the field trying to preserve this shutout that they've been able to preserve so far in the game. 5:33 with the clock running, rather.
Phil, I got to tell you, I've really been surprised so far that we haven't seen Kitchens throwing the ball a little more. I think they're going to open it up a little bit now, down 14-0.
There's the fake give and the roll by Kitchens. He's grabbed by the defensive end, however. Is that Mostella? Of course it is. Marcellus Mostella on the defensive play. Kitchens rolling right on the option play, but Marcellus was able to get between he and the pitchman and threw Kitchens for a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12 for the Blue Devils.
Coach DeLorenzo told us he has a lot of confidence in the speed and the jumping ability of Andy Swofford to catch balls on the offensive side. He thinks enough of him on defense with the speed to cover Malone all by himself. He has no help out there, and we still have yet to see Etowah go to Mr. Malone.
Just that one attempt on 3rd and very long. There's the fake bootleg and roll left by Kitchens. He pumps it out there into a defender's hands, almost picked off by Broderick Castleberry. The pass was intended for Derek Howard, number 35 of the Blue Devils. 3rd down and 11 for the Blue Devils, so safe to say that we'll see them pass here unless they go with a draw play. 11 yards is a lot of yardage to pick up on a draw play, though. I think we'll probably see him lay something up for Todrick Malone.
You know, I've been surprised, Phil, on the films that we watched of Etowah. A lot of times they send Roderick out about 15 yards and let him start coming back towards the quarterback to receive it for that 10-yard gain. We've yet to see him do that. They've sent him out, and it looks like they've sent him along almost every time on a pass play.
Todrick is split wide to the left. There's the heavy rush by the Tigers. They grab Kitchens at the line of scrimmage and throw him down after a 3-yard gain, but it won't be enough for a 1st down. That was Will Albright of the Tigers once again, along with Marcellus Mostella.
Oh, boy, howdy. Calvin Stewart was wide open in the middle field. I don't know if you saw him, but if he could have got him the ball, you would have seen at least a 30-yard gain. Nobody within 10 yards of him.
It looked like that was where Freddie Kitchens was looking, but with that heavy rush of the Tigers, he just didn't have a chance to get it to him. So Kitchens will punt. There's a good spiral back to the 33-yard line where Elders calls a fair catch, and the Tigers will take over with 3:58 to go. 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line of the Gadsden High Tigers. I'd like to thank our sponsors as always tonight. With 3:58 remaining, the Tigers take over 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line. I'd like to thank our sponsors as we watch this play from Chris Elders. There's the give to Shane Simpson up the middle on the counter. He's tattooed again by Greg Childs, the nose guard of the Blue Devils. And that's certainly a candidate for the Goodies headache powder lick of the game there, Mark. The Blue Devils have put on a tack-on tackling exhibit tonight so far.
They've got about 3 or 4 candidates for that Lick of the Night award.
Toby Bateman's one of those in there. I think he's had 2 licks that probably qualify. We will be picking the Goodies headache powder Lick of the Night winner at the end of tonight's game, but in the meantime there is Jimmy Williams, who is grabbed in the backfield but still struggles ahead for a gain of 1. The stop was by Mark Nichols of the Blue Devils, but not until Jimmy was able to struggle ahead for a gain of 1 yard. 3rd down and 6 for the Gadsden High Tigers. 3:06 remaining with the clock running in the first half. Terrific crowd on hand tonight. Lots of people on the track, and the seats are basically full. 3rd and 10, conversion down for the Gadsden High Tigers, and if the Blue Devils can stop them here, they'll have plenty of time to sustain a scoring drive before the clock runs down for the half. There's Elders back to pass. He's under pressure. There's a flag down. Looks like holding. He pumps it out for a wide open Shane Watts. Can't hold on at the 42-yard line of the Blue Devils. It would have been enough, but I think this one's going to come back nonetheless, Mark.
Usually the flag thrown in the area where you can expect some holding. But I tell you, Phil, I'm more impressed with this Elders kid. Every week we watch him, he gets better and better. Again, in rolling to the left side and throwing against his body, he was able to hit the receiver right in the hands. He couldn't hold on to it.
You saw Richard Maddock there calling the penalty on the Gadsden High Tigers, so it's irrelevant whether the pass was caught or not, but there probably will be and there is. They declined the penalty, so that'll bring on the punting team for the Tigers. Let's thank our sponsors tonight: Child's Art Studio, the Professional Opticians, Gadsden State Community College, Tuxedo Inn, Heritage Toyota, Alabama Contractors, Etowah Quality of Life, and Phobos Sheet Metal. We appreciate their support and welcome any other support. If you want to support the Comcast High School Game of the Week, we would love to have you as sponsors. There's the punt by the Gadsden High Tigers, and it's going to hit into the hands of Todrick Malone, who was immediately wrestled down by, looked like about 14 black shirts. I know it wasn't, but Jonathan Gentry was leading that assault by the Tigers. The kick was by David Ray of the Tigers, and check that was not who I said it was on the stop, but nonetheless the Tigers throw the Etowah Blue Devils down at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, and 2:25 left to go in the half. Let's see what Freddie Kitchens looks at on the defense and calls at the line.
Time to start seeing some pass plays, Phil. Not a time that you want to go in content with being down 14-0.
The Blue Devils have a wide open gap to the right side, but they give to their tailback on the sprint draw. That's Kenneth Sissom, who refuses to go down until he picks up 7 yards. There are 7, maybe 8 black jerseys in on that tackle by the time they could bring one Kenneth Sissom down to the ground. The leader of the tackles was Carlos Lawrence, right in the middle of things.
Etowah countering just what we said that we would be thinking, pass all the way with 2 minutes to go. If they start passing now, Phil, they're in an excellent spot on the field. If they can take it down in 2 minutes on an incomplete pass, the clock stops. Plenty of time to get a score in before halftime.
1:51 remaining. There is plenty of time. And there's a flag down on the play. It's a dead ball foul. Whistle was blown before the snap, and it's against Gadsden High. Freddie Kitchens, you can see him clapping there, and this one's going to be against the Tigers. Offsides against the Tigers. There's a costly error there because it gives the Blue Devils a 1st down and stops the clock. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of the Blue Devils. I can't say how impressive. I can't say enough about the impressiveness of the support shown tonight for both these teams. There's the pass to Todrick Malone. He goes through the hands of Malone, defended by Jeff Maudsley along with Andy Swafford of the Tigers. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils. 1:39 left to go in the half.
He's not only dangerous in what he can do before he catches the ball, Phil, but he's also dangerous in what he can do after he catches it. Etowah opting to hit a quick 5-yard completion and hope that Roderick can make something big happen from it.
Kitchens brings the white jerseyed Blue Devils up to the line. Todrick Malone wide to the near side. Drop back for the pass. He's looking across the middle. It's a little bit high, too high for Todd Lambert. Defense on the play was by Percy Davis along with Roderick Thomas dropping back on the defense, just barely out of the reach of Todd Lambert, or there would have been another big play for the Blue Devils and a first down play it would have been.
On almost every pass play, Phil, I have to keep one eye on Roderick, and that particular time I just I look for Etowah to start throwing some comeback patterns to him because they are open. When he gets ahead of steam going downfield, they're playing the long pass all the way.
I think everybody keeps at least one eye on him. There's Kitchens back. The pass, and what a catch! What a catch by the Blue Devils. Roselle Bradford laid out on the far sideline. The defense was by Percy Davis, but nobody was going to defend him on that play. I think everybody keeps at least one eye on him. There's Kitchens back. The pass, and what a catch! What a catch by the Blue Devils. Roselle Bradford laid out on the far sideline. The defense was by Percy Davis, but nobody was going to defend him on that play. The perfect pass where the only person that could catch it was the Blue Devil receiver. He laid out, touched his feet inbounds. Good for the first down for the Blue Devils. That's the biggest offensive play for the Blue Devils so far tonight. Kept the drive alive. 1:27 left with the clock stopped. Kitchens is slowly marching them down the field. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. Kitchens again back to pass. Moderate pressure, and then huge pressure. Right up the gut is Will Albright of the Tigers. Kitchens stood in there too long, and Will was able to fight his way along with Corey Tabb right up the middle and throw Kitchens for a loss. There's a timeout on the field for the Blue Devils with 1:13 left to go. The Blue Devils will have 2nd down and about 20 for the first down. 1:13 left to go in the half for the Blue Devils. With 1:13 to go in the half, Etowah is backed up to a 2nd and 19, and Kitchens is going to pass. He throws a rocket into Todrick Malone, who catches, runs for another 4, all the way up to the 31-yard line of the Tigers. He was run out of bounds by Andy Swafford, but not until he gets within 3 yards of a first down for the Blue Devils.
Phil, that's exactly what we were talking about, the little comeback pattern that is unstoppable when you're throwing to that guy on the sideline.
3rd down and 3 for the Blue Devils. This is definite 4-down territory, so they'll have 2 chances to get the first down with 1:07 left to go. That's a long 3. We may even have to call that 4 yards. Etowah runs again out of the I formation. Near to this side split is Roselle Bradford, who made the catch of the game so far. And there's a give on the draw play to the tailback. Bobby Hill, who cuts right, is dragged down from behind by Roderick Thomas. Not until he gets the first down at 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Tigers. The Blue Devils are methodically marching down the field. This has been the most impressive drive that we've seen either team put together.
Phil, we mentioned earlier that Etowah and Gadsden both having success in running the ball, and now you're in 4-down territory with only 53 seconds on the clock. They've got 4 downs to put it in the end zone.
Clock is running, but we will see enough pass plays that we'll see several more plays in this half, I think. I don't think they'll go for it all here. Sure as I say that, Kitchens backs up, throws a rifle too far inside to Todrick Malone was intended. The defense again was by Andy Swafford, and Todrick and Freddie just didn't have the right timing on that play. Almost, but Kitchens threw a rocket out there. Just Todrick cut the wrong way, I believe.
I'm telling you, Phil, they could go back to that play right now, not even trying to play any tricks. Go back to the same exact play and complete that pass. He is open that they're having to give him such a cushion.
They've got single coverage on him out there, and the Tiger defense appears to be worried that the end zone is a possibility, and now they've split out another safety strong to that side of the field, Chris Elders, to help out with Todrick Malone, and they need it. Kitchens is going to roll left. There's a blitz by Gadsden High. He slips through it, though, throws a wounded duck through the hands of Chris Elders, almost intercepted by the Tigers. The pass was intended for Derek Howard of the Blue Devils. Kitchens was hit in the backfield, and he had to throw a less than crisp pass, almost picked off. But nonetheless, the Blue Devils will have 3rd and 10 from the 21-yard line, 22-yard line, make it, with 33 seconds left with the clock stopped.
Phil, Broderick Castleberry that time was the guy that was on the stunt. And when they think Etowah is going to pass, they're going to send them all. That's the reason it's so important for Etowah to hit these short ones. They've got time to get those off.
Kitchens has the arm to sustain a drive like this, though. He's got a strong arm, one of the strongest we've seen this year. He rolls left. He's got a man just over the hands and intercepted by Chris Elders. He's got space. He's got running room. Dive, and the stop was made by the tailback, Bobby Hill. But not until Elders brings the Tigers out 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line with 21 seconds left to go. The interception was made way back on the 2-yard line, and Elders ran it all the way out to the 34-yard line. Do we have a flag here?
I think we do, Phil. Number 30, Corey Tabb, out there on that side, I think got the call for the clip.
Probably is inconsequential here, because with 21 seconds left, I think the Tigers will probably be content to run it out here unless Jimmy Williams decides to break an 80-yarder.
And if he decides he wants to break one, by George, I believe he could break one.
I believe it. I wouldn't tell him he couldn't, that's for sure. 21 seconds remaining. The score is 14-0 in favor of the Tigers. It's been closer than that, folks, though. The Blue Devils just threw an interception after a long, sustained drive, an impressive drive. But the Tigers apparently will go to the clubhouse with a 14-point lead. It's still been a terrific game, though. There's Elders. He's going to go to a knee with 11, 10, 9, 8 seconds left to go. Let's see if the Blue Devils will force them to take a timeout. They will not, and the clock will run out. So as the clock winds down, the score is 14-0 in favor of the Gadsden High Tigers. We're glad you joined us. This is Phil Collins for Mark Morrison. We'll be back after the half, everyone.
She's losing the war against weeds and about to find out about Steel's cut and trim.
Quit! Weeds!
Can I help you, ma'am?
Weeds!
Got weeds.
Weeds!
Steel's new cut and trim. It'll cut any weed you can grow.
Weeds!
Yes, ma'am.
Steel's cut and trim. Famous Steel quality at a small price. Visit your Steel dealer. He's a really good guy to know.
Come see all the Steel products on sale at Alabama Contractors Equipment.
Etowah Quality of Life Council is here for you with the newly developed maternal and child health program. In many cases of unplanned pregnancies, expectant mothers have to be mentally as well as physically prepared for the task of parenting. The maternal and child program is designed to meet these needs for low-income women through prenatal care, nutritional counseling, WIC program, and transportation to one of our 3 clinics. If you have need of our services, visit one of our clinics or call Etowah Quality of Life Council, 546-4606 or 492-0131.
Professional Opticians, serving you since 1949. Professional Opticians offers a wide choice of frames. We also have a large selection of sunglasses in stock with ultraviolet filters and designer frames. Carrera, Bosch & Lomb, Christian Dior, and more. Professional Opticians has a lens fabricating laboratory in-house for fast, accurate service. Our technicians make sure your lenses are grounded exactly like your doctor ordered. Professional Opticians, the name speaks for itself.
Tuxedo Inn, your formal wear leader and wedding specialist for over 20 years. Tuxedo Inn, Gadsden and Etowah County's only complete in-stock formal wear service. Tuxedo Inn, featuring over 12,000 in-stock tuxedos with over 80 styles by famous designers like Pierre Cardin, Lord West, and After Six. Tuxedo Inn offers the groom's tuxedo rental absolutely free with 5 or more in the wedding party. Tuxedo Inn, 1501 Rainbow Drive, across from Days Inn. Tuxedo Inn, open nights till 8.
E-Laser proudly present the Etowah High School Marching Blue Devil Band. The Blue Devil Band is under the field direction of Miss Alice Lightford. Color guard captain is
gentlemen, our Richard States, Pete Hartzog, and Good Bagley. We wish good luck to the Tiger Band who will be participating in the Northwest Camel Class. Small and rough around the mountain. Drummer Mr. Phillips. Here's the band with. Ladies and gentlemen, proudly present the Gadsden to Michael Montgomery. Very dexterous.
Hicks Family Shoes, North Alabama's largest home-owned family shoe store, sizes and widths are our specialty. We carry a full line of quality footwear, including Naturalizer, Selby, Rockport, and Buster Brown. No matter what the need, Hicks Family Shoes can please even the choosiest feet. So the next time you're shopping for quality footwear, drop by Hicks Family Shoes. We refuse to be undersold. Hicks Family Shoes, 430 Broad Street, downtown Gadsden.
World's auto manufacturers were only allowed to build one car to satisfy the needs of all car buyers everywhere. The Toyota Camry would be the logical choice. Motor Trend, 1987. Even before this quote was written, Toyota was at work designing an even better Camry. Introducing the all-new 1992 Toyota Camry. Roomier, quieter, more powerful, safer, and even more beautiful. We just couldn't leave well enough of it.
Come see the new Camry at Heritage Toyota, 563 East Megan Boulevard, Gadsden.
When that special time calls for a special touch. That's when you need Child's Art Studio, now open in Rainbow City. That special touch is applied to every portrait, every wedding picture, every special moment. Plus, you get the finest quality commercial photography, even passports. While you wait, visit Child's all-new custom frame salon, featuring over 200 wood frames and 240 metal frames. Mats all cut to your specs. Child's Art Studio, now in Rainbow City at 119 Church Street.
We're back, everyone, to begin the second half. Todrick Malone puts the toe to a deep kick. Andy Swafford catches it in the end zone for a touchback where the Gadsden High Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with a 14-0 lead over the Etowah Blue Devils. It's a lot closer than the game dictates. The scoring summaries for the first half with 2:24 remaining, or rather a 2-minute and 24-yard drive. Jimmy Williams took off on a 72-yard touchdown to make it 7-0, and then a 10-yard pass from Chris Elders to Andy Swafford was the second score to make it 14-0. Elders at quarterback gives to Jimmy Williams to start the game. He cuts back right, and he's got room and tripped up deep in the defensive backfield by Brent Kulovich. Had one man to beat, couldn't get by him, but he did manage to pick up 20 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils at the 39-yard line.
Feel important for Etowah to stop Gadsden on this initial drive of the second half. Down 14-0 and squandering a scoring opportunity. They need to stop them now.
The Tigers have Darrell Martin in at wide to the near side of the field, and of course the double wingback set. The give is inside to Jimmy Williams, who is stopped immediately by the nose guard of the Etowah Blue Devils. That was Greg Childs. Mark Nichols in on the play also for the Blue Devils. Pickup was good for maybe a yard. We'll be generous and give him a yard. 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils. Stan Roberts wide to the far side of the field for the Gadsden High Tigers. The give is again to Jimmy Williams. Pulling guard comes around and opens up a hole. Not big enough for Williams to get much yardage, though. Picks up about 4 yards. Stop was made by Dominique Pinson for the Blue Devils. This game's a lot closer than the score appears. Etowah was intercepted on the 2-yard line after a impressive drive to close out the half. Gadsden High just went to a knee from then on, and from then on the clock ran out, but not until Etowah was able to sustain a good offensive drive. And we'll see how much that means here in the second half. Jimmy Williams on the wide pitch to the left. He does not have first down yardage. Play was good for 2 yards. A stop was made by Roselle Bradford. That brings up 4th down. Stop was also made by Mark Nichols. Mark was also in on the play, so the Tigers will be forced to punt in their first offensive series. That's got to be a morale booster for the Blue Devils coming at it to begin the second half and stopping the Tigers on 3 downs and out.
Well, they're probably going to get the ball deep in their own territory, like you say. It's important for them to stop the Tigers on that first drive.
Todrick Malone's deep for the Blue Devils. There's a flag down on the play. Line drive kick. Todrick, it goes over Todrick's head, bounces out of bounds. No, into the end zone. Barely into the end zone for a touchback. Hold the phone. Let's see what the flag's going to be. You can see the referee, Richard Maddock, illegal procedure on Gadsden High School. So let's see if the Blue Devils will ask them to kick it again. I believe that they probably will. Malone was set to take that kick at about his own 20-yard line, so they'd probably like a chance to get the ball into Todrick's hands and see if he can return one for some good yardage.
Not a bad idea, Phil, here. Make him kick it again. I think if he gets his hands on the ball, you can be guaranteed that they'll have the ball in better position.
There was good pressure by the Blue Devil defense there. Forced the Gadsden kicker, that's David Ray, to get a quick one off. It was a line drive that was spiraling, line drive over Todrick Malone's head and into the end zone for a touchback. They'll be kicking from the 40-yard line this time. Malone is standing on his own 28-yard line. Another good rush from the near side, and they get it. They get it. Block punt, picked up on the 28-yard line, run in for the score. Touchdown, Blue Devils. What a big play on special teams by Derek Howard. Malone is standing on his own 28-yard line. Another good rush from the near side, and they get it. They get it. Block punt, picked up on the 28-yard line, run in for the score. Touchdown, Blue Devils. What a big play on special teams by Derek Howard. Picked up the loose ball and ran it for a touchdown. Mark, listen to that Blue Devil fan crowd.
Now we got a ball game, Phil. I think it was number 62, David Rose, but there was about 5 guys in there that could have got a hand on it. They all busted through straight up the middle. A lot of times, Phil, people don't understand what's happening on these punts. Usually, the Etowah defense will actually try to hold the Tigers at the line of scrimmage so they can get the run back. That time, they busted straight through for the block.
You can see on the replay that the block was made by number 62, David Rose, and then picked up by Derek Howard, who scampered in about 28 yards for the score. That makes the score 14-6. Malone pumps it through. The score with 9:28 to go is 14-7 off the big special teams play. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a minute with Comcast High School football.
For the beast in the basement again, and you know what that old furnace is going to do to your utility bills. But you don't have to let that monster upset your budget.
Hello, I'm Bill Faubus with Faubus Sheet Metal. I'm your Alabama Power certified electric heat pump dealer in Gadsden. We have financing available on approved credit, so call today for a free in-home estimate. Thank you.
9:28 to go in the third quarter of play. The Blue Devils are set to kick off to the Gadsden High Tigers with new life in the Blue Devil side. There's a high kick by Todrick Malone, taken in on the 7-yard line by Andy Swafford, who's got good blocking up front. Let's see if he can exploit it. He races out to the 32-yard line until he is drugged down by Corey Bradford and Derek Howard of the Blue Devils.
You get a hint of why they put Andy one-on-one on Todrick Malone of Etowah. He has great speed and showing a little bit of that speed himself.
It looked like Kenneth Sism was in on that tackle as well. So the high kick by Etowah didn't exactly work to perfection there. The Tigers were able to get a good wall set up and run right up the middle out to the 32-yard line after he took it in on about the 8-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Elders barking out the signals. Hands off with a full sweep to the right by Jimmy Williams. Picks up 8 yards on the play.